Hello everyone, welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. So big question, when do you stop fertilizing your garden? Guys, it is 98 degrees at 7 o'clock at night here in Southeast Louisiana. We're in a drought. We've had no rain in a month. The garden is thriving. Look at the green, look at it. Any brown you see is mulch. I am not fertilizing my garden during this drought and this heat wave, okay? Do not fertilize your garden at this time of year. Don't do it. Heat stress, water stress, they're a real thing for your plants. Another thing that we're simply not doing is shade cloth. My garden gets 12 hours of direct sun. Every plant that you see in this quarter-acre market garden is getting 12 hours of direct sunlight here in Southeast Louisiana, and it is still this green. It is still producing. Now, there are a few things that have grown but have not produced any fruits or vegetables for me. That's fine. The plants are still healthy. They're alive, and as soon as the temperatures drop below 80 degrees at night, which should happen sometime in September, those plants will begin producing food for me. Sometimes you have to use patience. But people ask me all the time, should I be fertilizing? No. If your plants need support or care at this time of year, about the only thing that I'm doing for my plants, even if I see pests, are worm teas. Okay, so a worm tea is made from worm castings, aka vermicompost. Now, your best bet is to make it yourself. We have plenty of videos on that. I hope that you like, comment, and subscribe, and you start watching how to start your own red wiggler bin. Barring that, you can purchase worm tea online. Would I get it from someplace like Walmart? No. No, I would not, because even though it's supposed to be a biological agent, it's basically been pasteurized, which means it's been heated to such a degree that all of your good bacteria, fungi, and protozoa have been killed. The reason you would use worm tea at this time of year is it basically acts like sunblock for your plants. Okay, so that's so important because it's like you putting on sunscreen, and what it's going to do is it's going to give your plants a shield against this tremendous sun. I see a lot of people putting a lot of money into sun cloths. There's no way. I have a quarter-acre market garden, guys. That's 104 foot by 104 foot by 104 foot by 104 foot. You catch my meaning? I'm not spending $700-800 on sun cloths and then having to rig that up in the middle of hurricane season in Southeast Louisiana. That's just asinine. That's only gonna be a waste of money. If you want your plants to look green and to thrive like these are doing, do not fertilize at this time of year. Heavy mulch around your root systems with whatever you can get your hands on. Even if you take a piece of cardboard and you cut a slice in it and open that cardboard up, and you take it and you slide it around the base of your plant, and you put some leaves or some cut grass on top of it, or some hay or some wood chips or even some compost, and you wet that down really well so the cardboard is soaked. Even if you just do that, you're going to lower the soil temperature by a good 20 to 25 degrees. Now I'm going to show you a picture right here. Did you guys see that? 140 something degrees is the soil temperature of this gentleman's soil in Southeast Texas right now. Why? Did you look at the picture closely? Let's look at it again. Okay, so in that picture, what you're seeing is bare soil, soil that has been tilled. Guys, you're gonna kill your plants. Your soil should not be near as hot as the ambient air temperature. So today our temperature got to, right. So it's August 19th and our temperature again was, that's a straight temperature without the heat index. Add the heat index, it's about 115 degrees out here at our hottest today. That does not mean that my soil should be 115 degrees, 120 degrees, 130, or 146. It means my soil should be around 80 to 90 degrees. And why is that? Because I heavy mulch. And then when I say heavy mulch, I'm talking 12 to 18 inches. Now you can heavy mulch with compost. Here's a big tip. If you do that, If you let that compost completely dry out at any time, that compost is going to become where it basically, it will not absorb water, okay? In fact, when water hits it, it'll roll off of it, all right? So I want you to remember that. You can use compost as a heavy mulch, but it needs to stay damp at all times. Now we use a drip irrigation drip tape. I still use a sprinkler when I first plant, or I seed until that plant has become established. After that, I go back to the drip irrigation, which we have found works really well here, because you can see where that dark spot on the hay behind me is. That's where it was watered recently, okay? So even the hay gets wet. And you want to put your irrigation, your tape irrigation, especially a no-till, on top of your mulch, guys, so that when you're digging your holes or you're putting your plants into the soil, because you can't plant in the mulch, you have to plant in the soil, and you're bringing that mulch back around the plant, okay? But if your drip irrigation is underneath your mulch, you won't see it. And for a lot of us, we learned that the hard way when we tore, cut, or broke through our drip tape and had to replace an entire piece. So God bless you. I hope that these tips help you have a productive, beautiful, thriving garden, even in 115-degree weather. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Share our videos. We are on 2 acres. We are farmsteaded, homesteaded here in Louisiana, and we are totally debt-free. So my birthday is tomorrow, so I might or I might not put a video up, but I do share my birthday with my 80-year-old mother, and I am so blessed that she is still here to share it with me. So God bless you guys. Have a great Saturday night. Here are llama beans. Now you are going to see occasionally things like this. This is mainly heat, and sometimes water stress will cause this. You can just take it off. Guys, if you can't burn in your community because you're like an urban farmer, what you can do is put this in the trash. I would not put anything like that in the compost. For me, it goes into the biochar pit. But you can see how vibrant and how green. This, of course, a winter squash. Again, llama beans. Again, a squash. The basil, the peas. Look at the okra. Of course, okra is naturally a drought and a heat-tolerant vegetable to plant. You can see the tomatoes right here, right? This is a winter squash and a pumpkin over here, all of these. You can see the bell peppers. You can see we've got sweet potatoes everywhere. In a no-till situation. I do have a video out on sweet potatoes, so you guys can check that out. You can see here I was companion planting, basically the 3 sisters, but I did not use any beans in this situation. But look at that corn in a no-till situation, right? Then again, I've got an heirloom okra going on over here. So this is cow horn okra, and I'm super excited about trying out that. See right here, we have cantaloupe, right? Still have squash right there. We still have pumpkin, some more okra. The big plant in the back there, that is hibiscus. Producing. We transplanted 3 watermelon plants in May. And look at that, still producing. And then, of course, always we have turnips. Wanted to show you guys, you can plant in this heat. I would direct seed, I would not transplant in the heat like they are here. You see it with your own eyes. I no-till heavy mulch on clay soil in 115-degree weather. I'm not fertilizing. I've grown my entire garden from nothing more than compost I make on the farm, worm castings, rabbit manure, rabbit urine. Guys, you can learn to do this too. Don't let people tell you you have to have sunshade. Now, if you tilled or you're in pots or your soil's depleted because you left it bare, you're probably going to need sunshade if you're going to try to save your garden this year. Otherwise, let it die. Like, subscribe, go back to our no-till playlist and learn how to garden like we do. Thank you for rowing in our boat and letting us row in yours.